Ever found yourself with a stack of crisp Naira notes, maybe from a generous relative or a successful local sale, and wondered, can I just walk into an Ally bank and deposit this? It's a fair question, especially in a world that's increasingly digital, yet still sees a significant amount of cash changing hands right here in Ibadan and across Nigeria. We're living in an era where online banking and mobile apps reign supreme. Ally Bank, with its strong online presence and reputation for competitive rates and no physical branches, perfectly embodies this digital revolution. You can manage your accounts, transfer funds, pay bills, and even apply for loans all from the comfort of your home using their website or mobile app. This convenience is a major draw for many, offering a seamless banking experience without the need to visit a physical location. But what happens when physical cash enters the equation? What if you need to deposit those hard-earned Naira into your Ally Bank account? This is where things get a little more nuanced and require a deeper dive into Ally Bank's operational model. Unlike traditional brick-and-mortar banks that have tellers and deposit slips, Ally Bank operates entirely online. This business model allows them to keep overhead costs low, which in turn often translates to better interest rates for their customers. However, the absence of physical branches inherently means they don't have the infrastructure for traditional cash deposits. There aren't any Ally Bank tellers ready to accept your Naira over a counter here in Ibadan, or anywhere else for that matter. So, the direct answer to the question, can I deposit cash with Ally Bank, is no. You cannot directly deposit physical cash into your Ally Bank account at an Ally Bank branch because, quite simply, no such branches exist. Now, before you feel disheartened if you frequently deal with cash, it's important to understand that this doesn't mean Ally Bank is entirely inaccessible for those who handle physical currency. It just means you need to explore alternative methods to get those funds into your Ally account. Think of it as finding a different route to reach the same destination. Let's explore some of these alternative routes. While Ally Bank doesn't directly accept cash deposits, there are several ways you can convert your physical Naira into a digital form that can then be transferred to your Ally Bank account. One of the most common and readily available methods involves using a third-party intermediary, your local Nigerian bank. Most of us here in Nigeria have accounts with traditional banks that have physical branches. You can deposit your cash into your Naira account at one of these local bank branches. Once the funds are credited to your account, you can then explore options for transferring these funds to your Ally Bank account. This might involve international wire transfers. Ally Bank does accept incoming wire transfers, but it's crucial to understand the associated fees and processes. Your Nigerian bank will likely charge a fee for sending an international wire transfer, and Ally Bank might also have a receiving fee. Furthermore, you'll need to ensure you have the correct routing information and your Ally Bank account details to initiate the transfer. The exchange rate between Naira and USD will also play a significant role in the final amount that lands in your Ally account. Keep a close eye on prevailing exchange rates to make informed decisions. Another avenue to consider is using money transfer services. Companies like Wise, formerly TransferWise, Remitly, or WorldRemit facilitate international money transfers. You can deposit your Naira with these services through various means they offer, which might include bank transfers, mobile money, or even cash deposits at designated agent locations, depending on their specific services in Nigeria. These platforms then convert your Naira to USD and send it to your Ally Bank account. They often offer more competitive exchange rates and lower fees compared to traditional bank wire transfers. It's worth comparing the fees and exchange rates of different services to find the most cost-effective option for your situation. Mobile money platforms are also becoming increasingly popular in Nigeria. Services like Pega, Opay, and MTN Mobile Money allow you to deposit cash at agent locations and then transfer funds digitally. While direct transfers from these platforms to an international bank like Ally might not always be a standard feature, it's worth investigating if they offer any options for linking to international payment gateways or if they partner with other services that could facilitate the transfer. The landscape of mobile money is constantly evolving, so new possibilities might emerge. Prepaid debit cards offer another potential workaround. You can load a prepaid dollar card with your Naira either through a bank transfer or, in some cases, by purchasing the card with cash and loading it at specific locations. Once the card is funded, you can potentially use it for online transfers or withdrawals that could then be deposited into your Ally bank account. However, be mindful of the fees associated with purchasing, loading, and using these cards, as they can sometimes be significant. For larger sums of money, it might be beneficial to consult with a financial advisor or an international banking specialist. They can provide tailored advice based on your specific needs and the amounts involved, helping you navigate the most efficient and cost-effective methods for transferring funds internationally. They might also be aware of less common but potentially suitable options. It's also important to consider the compliance and regulatory aspects of international money transfers. Both Nigerian and U.S. regulations govern the movement of funds across borders. Ensure that you are following all the necessary procedures and reporting requirements to avoid any complications. Familiarize yourself with any limits on transfer amounts and the documentation you might need to provide. While the inability to directly deposit cash might seem like a drawback for those who frequently deal with physical currency, Ally Bank's strengths lie in its online convenience, competitive rates, and robust digital platform. For many, these advantages outweigh the need for physical branches. The key is to adapt and utilize the available alternative methods to bridge the gap between physical Naira and your digital Ally Bank account. Remember to always prioritize security when dealing with online financial transactions. Use strong passwords, enable two-factor authentication wherever possible, and be cautious of phishing scams or fraudulent activities. Ensure that any third-party services you use are reputable and secure. So, while you can't walk into a non-existent Ally Bank branch in Ibadan with a wad of Naira, there are definitely pathways to get those funds working for you in your Ally Bank account. It requires a bit more effort and potentially involves some fees, but with careful planning and by exploring the options we've discussed, you can effectively manage your cash and your online banking needs. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.